How's everybody doing tonight? Gonna give it a couple seconds to load and get everybody to join on in. All right. Apologize for the delay here. Apparently, some idiot out there keeps flagging this question and answer session as against community standards. So they just keep wanting to take it down. So apparently, some asshole, pardon my language, is not liking that somebody wants to answer somebody's question. So if you're watching, don't be an idiot. Just stay away if you don't want to partake or you don't like it. So to everybody else who is here, who is following, thanks for being here. I appreciate it, and here to answer any of your questions. You could type them here in the chat on the side here. Appreciate you being here again. So basically, we're going to start out really quick with about a State of the Union, what's going on here while you guys are typing some questions there in the chat for me. Things are going phenomenal. I thank you guys for all your support. A lot of people are taking advantage of the flash sales and just absolutely, having a great time, getting some great frogs at some insane prices. So again, thank you. I couldn't have my job without you guys supporting us, and I really can't thank you for that enough. And we're not done with the flash sales yet, guys. I got some things hidden up my sleeve yet, so keep an eye as the week goes on, and we will go from there. So, looks like we got a couple questions here, and we got a couple of things to go over. Them and go over in this video as we go along, but I want to answer some questions before they get lost in the reel. So Kelly's on her exercise bike. Good, you're exercising at the same time, multitasking. So it's the government. Yeah, I don't think it's the government. I think it's just haters out there, which is ridiculous. But anyways, how long before I should worry with the baby froglet not eating? Never had one so small. This is from Kelly. Assuming you're talking about a Pac-Man, and that is assuming that the husbandry is all absolutely perfect, temperatures, humidity, and all that. They could go for a little bit. I mean, I would start worrying at probably day 4 or 5. I know we feed ours really well when they're here, so that when they go out, they have a little bit of reserves. So when they get to you guys, but you could try different methods like wax worms. They really, really, really love cut up earthworms. They night crawlers. They love that. Of course, crickets are well, and Pac-Man food. I've had great success. The Samurai Pac-Man food is phenomenal. Which, by the way, we are completely sold out of the 4-ounce. We do have some 2-ounce left, but we're completely out of the 4-ounce till the next shipment comes. So hopefully that answers your question a little bit. If not, you can send me a message or type in there as well, and I could get a little bit more detail. How easy is it to breed White's tree frogs? It's not a question of is it easy to breed, but it's a question of are you ready for the hundreds to over 1,000 offspring, and do you have outlets for them to all find homes? And understand it's going to cost a lot of money to feed these guys till they get the homes. Everybody thinks that it's a really, really big money maker, but you really got to have an outlet, because if you're sitting on 1,000 frogs that you're feeding every week, thousands of crickets, that profit goes. So from a business standpoint, you really got to be prepared with a lot of equipment and a lot of cages, a lot of time to do so. Now I know everybody's got, well, should say everybody. A lot of people have time right now with being, hopefully you're self-quarantining yourself like you should, but it's still a lot of work. I see white tree frogs. They eat, they poop a lot. So they're not hard to breed. They can be a little bit difficult at times, but it's not horrible. Tom wants, can we discuss red-eyed tree frog care, and would you consider them a beginner tree frog? That depends. In my opinion, there's two different sections of red-eyed tree frogs. There is basically your captive bred red-eyed tree frog, and your, large adults, which you'll see for $25, $30, which are your wild caught. Those I think are extremely, extremely hard um, to basically take care of. And you don't know how old they are, or sometimes they don't acclimate right. So my suggestion there would be to go with captive bred if you can. Captive bred babies seem to do fairly well if you keep them in a simplistic setup, like paper towels, water dish, until they're, probably about yay size, which is about your 2 inch mark, and then they do very well in aquariums. Um, but a lot of these baby tree frogs seem to be okay hunters at times, so I like to kind of keep it as simple as possible for them with the crickets, because you don't want crickets hidden, you don't want them stressing them out. So I think red-eyed tree frogs are a good beginner frog if you're getting from the right source. There's a lot of people out there that say, "Yeah, this is absolutely, it's farmed. Farmed is imported, guys. It's not captive bred here. So watch the lingo. They are farmed, but not here. So hopefully that answers your question a little bit there, Tom. Um, what else we got here? What's your thoughts on ZooMed Pac-Man food? I've tried it. I didn't like it. I had very mixed success with it. Sometimes they would eat it. Sometimes they really didn't want to, and it was kind of back and forth. So I don't care for it. I didn't have luck with the Hikari, and we use a lot of Hikari products here, a lot of Hikari. But I didn't have luck with the Hikari, and I didn't have luck with that. But I do have a lot of luck with the Samurai, which is why we carry. I believe carrying what you use and what works really well is extremely important. Uh, Kelly, just continuing on the Cornuta thread. I see now she's got a Cornuta. Sorry, I'm jumping around questions. Tried Samurai, tried Waxworms. Heat's at 82, humidity's at 80. It's been a week. Was going to get crickets and night crawlers tomorrow. That's right. You did message me on the page. Here they were eating crickets. They really, really loved crickets. You could also try for these babies when you feed them. Take them out, put them in a small container like a deli cup with a hole, obviously, a damp paper towel with some crickets, and leave them in there for an hour or two. Just let them go. Don't mess with them. Let them in there with the crickets, and make sure you count the crickets so you know if they ate or didn't eat. And that's basically how we feed them here. We empty all the substrates out. We basically get rid of the water, which is how we do a breeder style, and throw the crickets in for them to eat over a couple hours. No, Josh, I don't have frog themed jammies. I don't. But I'm curious if you have cricket themed jammies. And if so, we want to see pictures. Um, in a Kelly quiet tank with 3 sides of tank cover, Nico Earth, not deep enough to burrow, but enough to snug. Again, take them out, try the crickets, put them in there, and put them in another container like a shoebox or something like that, and see if that does the trick. Cornuta are really touchy, but when they start eating, they eat very well. Yeah, I agree. I mean, wild caught is necessary for certain things. We're trying to reproduce the masked tree frog now. They're a wild caught group because I think it's a phenomenal frog that we can get into the hobby captive bred. So there is a spot for wild caught animals to bring new species and stuff into the hobby. Um, but for people who want to get into the hobby and they want to buy all these different species, you're going to run into issues with some of these wild caughts, and then they really kind of get down and depressed that they think they don't know what they're doing. And that's not to say they're doing anything perfect, but really isn't a lot of room for error with some of them, and you really got to be on them. So if you can, at all costs, go with captive bred. And if as far as a beginner tree frog, honestly, I don't think it gets better than a whites. Whites are, they got some cool morphs now, and they basically are just Pac-Mans that can climb glass. They eat everything. They're just great frogs. Um, are you doing blue samurais? Funny you asked that question. because we're going to go over an update here in a minute what we got cooking. So I'm going to go over that. So I'll do that right now since we're kind of a little up to date here. And I hope I pronounced this right. I'm sorry. Amalea, you're very welcome for the frogs. I hope you're enjoying them. I know. You showed me some pictures we've gone over, so thank you again. So update. What do we got cooking? What's going on? What can you guys expect to see here in the coming weeks? If you're following the Facebook page, you probably already know a lot of this, but some of you don't, and you're visiting us from other pages. We got some yellow belly tadpoles in. They just, I shouldn't say in, they just went ahead and laid for us. So hopefully yellow belly toads here in the coming months. Our Spinosa are now actively laying again now that the weather is getting warmer. So we do have tadpoles from our crown tree frogs, which are really, really cool species as well. Of course, we do have super snowflakes, and blue whites for sale right now on flash sale. But we also are going to be releasing some frogs probably in the next few days from our honey spawn again. They're not blue eyes. The blue eyes just, I mean, they sold out in like 2 hours. You guys obviously really, really all about blue eyes, and I love them too. They're one of my favorites. But here's the deal on the honeys, guys. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to tell you everything I know. Basically, we have honey parents we spent a lot of money on. They were the parents of this spawn here with the blue eyes, and the ones we're going to release that don't have blue eyes. And basically, I don't personally think you're going to see honey till they're older. And since I cannot tell, I can take a good guess, and that's what the ones we're having for sale. I'm separating them out and selling them in batches of which ones are going to be honey and which ones are not going to be honey. I think you're not going to see that color until like 6 months. So I'm not charging honey prices because I don't want people to pay $150 to get a frog that's maybe blue. I'd rather you pay a blue price and get a honey. I'd rather you get the bonus, and that's totally okay with me. So we're not charging the high prices for that stuff. So you will see that very, very soon. I need frog jammies, yes. Now, Pac-Mans, what do we got? What we got going on? I got some cool stuff, guys. I just pulled out the first Samurai Blues out of the water tonight. There's going to be a limited amount of these guys. Was not a huge spawn. So, but we basically will have some Samurai Albinos, and we will have some Samurai Blues. What else do we have cooking? We also have a strawberry crossed camo spawn in the water, which is going to be coming out here this week, and another spawn which might be later this week or maybe next weekend. So I'm really stoked about emeralds. A lot of you guys have been asking about them, so we're going to have them. It's not going to be, again, it was not a huge spawn. We're kind of, using a lot of newer females. They're not throwing as big as spawns, but you know what? That's totally okay because we want to keep things kind of controlled at this time because there's virtually no reptile shows out there, and I live and die by the online sales. So we cannot go out and see you guys right now, unfortunately. So I'm kind of fine with the smaller ones. So yes, we will have the blues. Now, when they come out, it takes a while for that blue color to come in. We do not enhance any of our frogs, any enhancements. So when they come out, it takes a few weeks for that tealish color to come out. What else we got here? So when you transition a pack to rodents, do you ever feed anything else? No. I don't, personally. But what I do as a breeder isn't probably what you guys should do as pets. If at home you might want to offer rodent once a month, and that's about it. Here, our animals are using a lot more fat. They're using a lot more resources to breed, to make these animals and these tadpoles and these eggs so that we can get on the market for you guys. So we feed nothing but rodents. We use hairless rodents, as a matter of fact. They're a little bit more expensive than the other ones, but that's okay because we want to make sure the best is getting into these guys. So the key to, I think, animals that aren't reproducing and are just staying at home, and keep in mind, guys, animals are made to reproduce. So their bodies aren't going to say, well, I'm a pet, so I'm going to turn that button off. No. In their head, they want to basically pass on their genetics. So you got to draw the line there. So is it okay to give rodents? Absolutely. But as a pet, basically a couch potato, they're not working as much as we're working them here in breeding facilities. Yes, you give rodents, but just do it not as a staple. Do it as kind of a treat. Be much better. How much for the blues? I don't even know. That is a question I've been getting a lot. I mean, you guys know me. I'm extremely fair priced. I'm not going to ask, $200 for a blue or, $150 for a blue. It's going to be priced, and some of those might be graded so that it might be like, grade A, B, and C and different prices up from there because they don't all come out looking exactly the same in a spawn like a blue or a teal or even an emerald. So, I really don't know price, but I can tell you it's probably gonna be under $100. And emeralds, you guys obviously already know our prices. They're on the site. I think they're for everybody to see. Are the honey whites bred from Sandfire Dragon Ranch frogs? No, no, we breed them here. The blue eyes and the honeys are bred right here on site. So no, we have our parents were purchased from Bob at Samfire Dragons, so the genetics are the real honeys. I think I paid like I don't know $200, $250 each, for the real deal. So they weren't cheap, but no, we breed whites on site here. Any ideas on dates for the honeys? I'm hoping to release them this week. Maybe a flash sale. We'll see. So I don't know yet. So hopefully, really soon we'll be able to do that. We're going to see them here soon. They're almost the size of the ones that we just released. So, I like to make sure all these animals are eating quarter-inch crickets for you guys when they go on out. So it's going to be a little bit. Couple things, just as a general announcement that I've noticed as people have been using the site a lot more. That make sure you're paying attention to the shipping. Pick the proper shipping method. There is basically one that says live plants. There's one that says live animals, and there's one for the feeders, the insects. If you pick the live plant one, which is much cheaper, and you purchase a frog, you have to then pay the difference as well. We're not going to ship an overnight FedEx for $15. It's impossible. We can't afford. We'd be out of business. So just pay attention. Everybody's been really good with it. They've just made stupid little mistakes, and that's fine. Just look at the shipping at the end. The other thing, guys, is we really, really appreciate all your support from other countries, but we can't ship to you. So if you're ordering from Canada, which we've actually had a bunch of orders from Canada that we have to refund because I can't get them up to you. Now, what I would suggest, since I have a huge amount of people that contact me every week for Canada, if somebody wants to get an order up there, a much larger order, and then can distribute throughout, that would probably be cost effective because it's not cheap to ship to Canada. The service that we do use for shipping will ship to Canada, but it's not cheap, guys. So if you are out of the country, I'm sorry, we can't get these frogs up to you. Do we have any more canoes? Of course we do. Yes, absolutely. I don't think we have many, but we do have canoes left for sale, and we are shipping on Monday. We are a pet service business. We are considered an essential business. Thus, we are open. I am still making deliveries basically to FedEx. My life consists of home, FedEx, and the grocery store. So we are still shipping. You can still put them in. Oh, Kelly, I saw 7 on the site there, flash sale, but yeah, we do have the regular ones. The regular price is 40. Thank you for checking that really quick for me. But yeah, we do, like she says, we have 7 left on the flash sales, and sometimes we renew the inventory in flash sales, sometimes we don't. Really depends on the inventory I have coming out of the water here. So, oh, oh boy, you got a loaded question here. What are the genetics for honey? Is it homozygous or is it multiple gene base? I don't know. And the reason I say I don't know is because not many people breed honeys in the States. I know Sandfire has. Sometimes it's difficult to kind of ask them what's going on and what's how things are working. So I don't know 100%. We're working with it here. I'm gonna guess it's going to work like any other genetic trait that is color. And most color traits are like line bred, where you're going to see some being a very very strong visual of what you want to see and some not. Meaning you're basically going to see it passed down, but some are going to be great examples, some are going to be not great examples. Just like you'll see with the samurais, you can breed, two phenomenal. Sorry for the noise effects, guys. Two phenomenal looking animals, and you'll get mostly phenomenal looking animals, but you're going to get some that aren't. So when you're dealing with color traits like honey, my best guess is it's going to be like that. But unfortunately, we have no way of knowing really how good they're going to be unless we're holding them for a while. And unfortunately, then the price is going to be a lot higher because the maintenance, the food, and the labor. So basically, we can sell them to you, on a cheaper end, very well established, not charge you the price, and or the other way around, and we hold them for 4 or 5 months, and then we got to charge you like $100, $150. So it's a toss up. And to be honest with you, we do not have the facilities here to hold 600, 700 white tree frogs for that long. So that's not an option for us. But I think it's worked out really well in everybody's favor that you get to get some really really well priced cool genetic frogs at a bargain. Oh, Tom's answer here. What's Fantasy Pac-Man? Kelly knows the answer. What is it, Kelly? I feel like I should have the Jeopardy theme song going here. But all you're going to hear is my dog in the back panting. All right. Well, it's probably just lagging. So a fantasy is a hybrid frog. It's basically when you breed a cornuta to a cranwell, you create this fantasy, which is they're really really cool looking. You get a mix of things like flame fantasies, you get the green fantasies, you get the tan fantasies. Sometimes they're called tricolors if you got some green in there. I really love the fantasies. I think they make a phenomenal looking frog, and interestingly enough, they are like one of the most popular hybrids in the reptile industry, and nobody really has ever argued about it, which is really weird because a lot of people hate hybrids, but they love fantasies. But that is the explanation. They are a hybrid frog. All right, YouTube few years back, a purple white tree frog. Have you ever seen those? I forget who is a breeder. See them every day. At about 7, 8 o'clock. Reason I say that is because white tree frogs are like a mood ring. I get a question every day. Same question, just about different people. Can you take me individual pictures? And there's two reasons I can't do that, guys. Number one, it's me and my dog Sherlock. Sherlock's not going to help me. And we got basically probably right now 1,500 to 2,000 frogs in stock. So there's no way. There's just simply no way I could take pictures of individual frogs for you guys. I wish I could. I really do. And we probably will get back into the what you see is what you get when we have a little bit of time. But right now, I have my little one all day, and grandmas are helping with a little bit of babysitting here and there. But there's just the regular day-to-day stuff has to be done first. So and this is going somewhere, I promise. So we can't do the pictures. So, and the other reason for the pictures is I can take a picture of a white tree frog at 7 o'clock in the morning. I can take a picture of it at 7 o'clock at night. And sometimes they're like mood rings. They do turn purple. They do turn blue. They do turn, like a maroon. They do change a little bit depending on the temperatures and the lights and the age. So It's very difficult to do that. So we do have some whites that if I go down there, they look purple, and it doesn't stay that way. I wouldn't call them a purple white tree frog. So it really is kind of when they took it and when they didn't take the picture. Uh, that's cool, Kelly. I did not know your vet tech background. I am also a licensed CVT. I worked at AZA Zoo for 10 years, and then I did emergency work and some regular practice and rehab for a little bit. So I have a CVT as well. Are you guys still shipping? Absolutely. We are still shipping. And right now, FedEx is doing a phenomenal job. I mean, guys, thank your FedEx guys because they're working their butt off, man. Not just for us in the industry, has to be out there working. It's really doing a good job. So, yes, I know it's a tangent, but really, they're there, what's keeping the lifeblood going. So, what else we got here? Thank you very much for the support. What's the most popular frog I sell? Right now, it's white street frogs. White street frogs are very, very popular. But I would say Pac-Man. We do obviously a lot of Pac-Mans. Um, Most popular Pac-Mans people seem to either like blues, which means teals, emeralds, samurais. Um, they really love mutants, but that's really, really tough to produce them consistently, which we are going to do again very soon. But or they really, really like strawberries, a high red. So either they like the red or they like the blue. Seems to be our most popular frogs right now. What's my favorite species in morph? Wow, that's a loaded question. What do I like to work with the most? Obviously, I like Pac-Man frogs. I really love the genetics of the Pac-Man frogs. I love the breeding. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But the tree frogs are a total different challenge that I really do enjoy. So I mean, I still Pac-Man frogs. Pac-Man frogs are probably my favorite species because you really don't ever know what you're going to get, and when they start coming out, I mean, there's always animals that when I'm going through the babies, I'm like, oh, I got to hold that back. I got to hold that back. I want to hold all this stuff back because it just looks different to me, and you really can play with them and tinker around and do all kinds of stuff. So I would say Pac-Man frogs. Absolutely. My favorite morph, I love to hate the mutants. I love them. But they're difficult. The genetics is very difficult. They're not difficult. They're the same as any others, basically. But yeah, that's the issue. Is basically they're a pain in the butt to get them consistent genetics. You might breed them together and get all greens or albinos and greens, and not get these purples and these wicked things. But I got some really cool stuff coming really soon, guys. It's gonna be fun. Um, Want to get whites, tree frog or two. What size enclosure would I need? You don't need much. I mean, 10-gallon aquarium, if you're only getting two, is plenty for these guys. So that wouldn't be no problem. Just a 10-gallon aquarium. What are you guys' favorite frogs? I see albinos here. What's everybody's favorite frog that's in here? And if you have any other questions, type them on there. I know we're getting a little bit of lag, so I apologize about that. All right. Well, guys, we're at 30 minutes, and it's been a pleasure. It really has. I enjoyed doing these sessions with you. Again, I apologize for the beginning. I don't know who in the world was, you know, flagging our question and answer like we're doing anything bad in the question and answer. So But unfortunately, you know what? Some people don't always like everybody. So again, I apologize for that. It was not our fault. I was sitting here waiting, and it took forever. Somebody just bought 3 more Super Snows. They're addicting, aren't they? I love them. All the whites. I mean, none of them look the same. They're really, really cool to play around with. You will definitely enjoy the Super Snows. I think as adults, they're going to be just wicked looking. I think they're just going to really, really be cool animals. Other than that, so I think we're going to wrap it up. Again, thanks guys for being here. I hopefully have more time to sit down and do this with you guys. I think this was an amazing session. You guys did some great questions. So basically, I'm gonna let you guys go here. Have a great night. Maybe we'll do another one of these on maybe Sunday night. So I'm here. So everybody, thank you again. Again, thank you for support. I couldn't be here doing what I do without you guys supporting and going ahead and taking advantage of those flash sales. And keep an eye on it because there might be more really soon. Because that's what I like to do. So have a great night, guys. Enjoy yourself, quarantine. Be safe. We'll talk to you soon.